Let's take a look at this for this one though. So the first
Who
game,
won?
yeah,
Untelling.
no one knows. All right, so this was our second game, right? I think
Yeah.
some of the initial nerves of being on stream and stuff might have waved off by then because we were both dropping a bunch of stuff. So we'll take this one. So that right there, I think, you can take a look at the spacing for the fireball here. Right, so if we go back, so this distance for sure, no matter how good your fireball is.
I think it would have snuffed you out if you had like done a normal.
Yeah, I think
because like his does trade a lot right there.
Yeah,
in that spacing,
here,
which is
it just depends, right? So from this spacing, right before I jump, so you go into a power wave there, right? So if I had, so that is what? Let's stick with the frames here. So that's already 10-ish frames that you're doing the startup, right?
Yeah.
So if I had actually counter poked here with like a faster medium, something like a crouching medium kick, might not have reached. Maybe a stand medium kick from Ken could have reached here.
Yeah.
I think that actually ends up stuffing your fireball, right? Because here, what happened was you got hit, right? So you got hit by the stand heavy kick, right? So Ken doesn't get a lot of reward for landing a stand heavy kick in neutral like this. He gets the hit, does a little damage. It's good for Ken to land that, obviously.
Yeah.
But you're not getting it. Like Ken isn't getting. I'm not getting a huge follow up from here.
Yeah.
Spacing here. What I'm affectionately calling the ranked experience is that people are gonna jump from here, right? Like half screen, you know, inside a half screen, stuff like this, they're gonna jump, right? That is how ranked it is, right? For everybody involved. In this situation here, at this spacing, fireballing, you know, again, probably not ideal here. Obviously, I jump in, which is a huge reward for me as Ken, but your risk reward here is very heavily skewed towards me, right? So let's say this fireball hits me, nothing, right? You land the fireball, you get a little space back, not necessarily a huge reward. Like then, that's best case scenario, right? It hits me, right? I don't do anything. I get caught walking forward or something. It hits me, maybe get a little damage, right? Jumping in is huge, right? Like I get a full combo and a corner carry, right? Certainly not like something where the fireball was objectively wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's just you made that decision, it didn't quite work out for you in this case, and the risk reward was a little bit more skewed towards higher risk, less reward, right? So something to consider when you're making decisions in game, especially in neutral like that, right? Because that jump, you know, puts you in a position here where now you're minus like 25 or something like that. You have to deal with Ken's Oki, which is absurd, obviously.
Yeah.
So, this is a good reversal though. This was the first knockdown, I think, of the game, of this particular game. And I think at a higher level, when you start getting into master, rotation of defensive options here becomes way more important, right? Because at this level, master, even in diamond, I think, offenses are actually pretty airtight and solid, right? So you need to make a defensive decision here. And this is a good one, right? I think that doing a reversal early like this kind of sets the tone.
I think this was already a rotation of my defense as well, because before, like the game before this, I think it did a lot of drive reversal on your Oki. So you swap over to doing crouch jab instead.
Yep, and this blows through that, right? So that's a good adjustment. And I think I said it on stream too when I was playing. I was like, oh, that was a good reversal. So, good follow up here. Obviously, I went for parry, tried to go for parry, which again, for me on my end, that if I got perfect parry, it would have been great. But you can see the defensive decision difference here, though, right? Is that the risk reward is not as it's not as like sway or variance, right? Not as big variance.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a fairly low risk. At worst, you drive rush throw, or try to bait something or something like that, and then I eat a punish counter throw, which is 20%. But if you go for like a button here or any sort of bait, unless you're close, right? Like at worst, again, I'm eating a punish counter throw, right? Yeah, so that's tough, right? What was happening here, and I'll tell you what I was thinking, was that you really wanted to hit me with a little forward here, right? So I'm pressing kind of outside of your range, right? I'm at the tip of my stand light kick. Stand heavy kick kind of pokes here, right? So that's technically a space trap there, right? If I decided to press in that situation, you'd eat it, right? Yeah, and I end up doing that to you again, right? So here, right? Small whiff punish, because in my head, right, as the offensive player, I'm thinking they've tried to hit me with, you know, Terry's tried to hit me with crouching medium kick twice, right? They've pressed it already once. So I think they're trying to get out with that button. Now again, I'm paying attention to this right here, right?
Yeah.
Your meter, right? As the offensive player, because it dictates what you are willing to do, right? Or what you should be able to do, right? In this case, I know you have a drive rush here, right? So that's what's happening. So the defensive decision here to try to hit me with a crouching medium kick is probably fine. I think what got you here was the whiff punish move, right? This movement of mine outside that range. Right? It's very, very difficult, right? Right there, right? Yeah. That's very hard to recognize what I'm gonna do as the offensive player, right? I just landed to jump in on you. You blocked it. Well, parried technically, but you parried it, and I could go in, but I'm still, it's still technically my turn, and I can press buttons on you.
Yeah.
I can go for throw or whatever else. So it's kind of what I was saying before, where if you're going to make a defensive decision, just make it beforehand and go for it. And I think this was a fine decision to make. But something that I think in Master you got to keep in mind too is that the offensive player is also rotating their options, right? Like I'm not overextending, right? I'm trying to back off, get my space back because you have been struggling with this spacing. And looking at the meter situation, right? I can't extend any further, right? Like I can't do a drive rush cancel or anything like that to extend my combo here. So I don't quite have level 3 yet, but even if I did, it'd probably kill you, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Close. If I can get a full Jinrai loop, but I probably can't kill you with this interaction if I cash out, right? I'd have to hit, I have to hit a couple of things to do that to be sure, right?
Yeah,
to make absolutely sure. Whereas your situation here, you have 2 interactions to live with, right? And 4 bars here. This is a full bar, so I take a little bit of a risk by backing off, not overextending. But if you had decided to press again, crouch medium kick here, you would attack me, right? And then full combo on that. So again, I don't think the decision making is necessarily wrong. I think you actually make pretty good decisions. It's just it didn't quite work out, right? You decided, I'm gonna throw scissors and I happen to throw rock, right? So anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. I'm gonna try to do these once or twice a week. Sign up on the Fight Rise Discord if you want to check out more content. So appreciate you guys.